Hi everyone. So I thought I'd just give a quick update as how I see the markets panning out, as I haven't been around since my last video sometime around here. Now, I do apologize for not updating the channel throughout the end of July, start of August period when Bitcoin had this massive run up. But basically, I was really suspicious of this big run up simply because, based on the analysis from my last video, the timing just didn't seem right. And it just, even though we did get that daily close above the 50 TMA, which is one of my favorite strategies taught to me by Cowboy Trades over in this video here. If you want to search his channel for best Bitcoin strategy, you can find it too. So basically, you long when you see a daily close above the 50 TMA and you short when you see a daily close beneath it. Obviously, it defaults to 20, so make sure you pop into the settings and change it to 50 if you use it on your own chart. But I was very suspicious of this entire run up. Obviously, I entered it long anyway because you follow the strategy. And once I saw this huge double top play out, I'm like, nah, I'm out. I closed for a very slight profit. And as soon as we closed the daily underneath the bull market support band and the 50 TMA again, I basically sold absolutely everything that I had and entered a short position. Now, you've got to remember, when we were down below the range for the trading range here for pretty much the third time. Now, everyone here was buying, longing, because, buy the dip, buy the dip. And next thing you know, we see another massive flush out. Now, neither me nor pretty much 90% of the people I trade with called this move. I think there were one or two people that were saying that the gap over here back in the February run up needed to be filled, as well as some other gaps in between here from earlier in February. Now, the abnormal bar rule is probably one of the best things I ever learnt from Jason Pizzino and his brother Michael Pizzino over at TIA Crypto. And where it basically states that if the market moves up or down too quickly and you have these huge abnormal bars, which depending on how you trade could be classed as twice the average true range or 3 times the average true range, which is an indicator over here on its own. Now, I don't really use it much, even though I should. I kind of just eyeball it. Like if you have a look back here, most of your candles are roughly $4,000, and you get this massive move up that's $11,000. It's pretty obvious that you're going to see some sort of bar refill. Anyways, history aside, where we are now, we have finally closed a daily candle above the 50 TMA for the first time since the 15th of July, so just over 5 weeks. Obviously, following the mechanical strategy, I'm going to enter a long position. And another thing you'll note is if we extrapolate the bull market support band, we're pretty much just above it, which now the timing lines up on my 60 bar rule, which I extrapolated from all the way back here. So if you have watched many of Jason Pizzino's videos recently, especially this one, the price tripled last time this happened, he's saying how our period right now is very similar to the market back in October of 2023, where we're pretty much just chopping sideways. Obviously, with the Bitcoin price over double what it was, this sideways chop is in a much bigger range. I've got my chart set to a linear scale. You can set it to a logarithmic scale if you prefer nicer looking things. But basically, if we have a look back here from 2023, as soon as we broke above the bull market support band after our 60 bar consolidation, we had a couple of days of consolidation and then we have this one massive gotcha bar, as Jason and Michael like to call it, where it basically locks everyone out of the market. So people who are thinking, who missed buying through here, were sitting all the way out through here, hoping for another correction so they could get back in at a nicer price. And what happens when you get a bar like this is it forces people to FOMO in at a higher price, which leads to the markets moving up, up, up. So I would say today is very similar to the way Bitcoin looked at $28,483, where you have this wick to the top, and the next day it attempts to fill in this abnormal bar slightly. But because we've already consolidated for so long, the bar does not get fully filled, and after 1 or 2 days down, we see this absolutely massive move up, which here was $8,000, or pretty much 30% over the course of just 7 days exactly. So if we see something similar, we might see a 1, 2, 3 day correction, and a 30% move up would take us all the way through to, quick maths right here, about $80,000. Now, based on my 101 bar analysis, which I covered in my previous video over here, I don't believe we will see a all-time high straight away in a week, simply because we've had so much more sideways chop here, and we've seen a much deeper correction than what we previously have seen. Now, if you go watch some of Michael's videos over here, he talks about how almost every correction so far in this bull market has been around 20%. And obviously, since we've seen a 30% correction, we're most likely going to need a bit more time before we can see a new all-time high. But since my 60 bar signal here played out almost perfectly to the teeth, with the exception of this little fake out here, which we also actually got a fake out here as well. It just didn't fake out as far above the bull market support band. So basically the market is just repeating history as far as I'm concerned. So on the 16th of September, will we be at a new all-time high? Maybe, maybe not. Nobody knows what happens on the blank side of the chart, as Jason Pizzino always says. But by studying the past to forecast the future, as he also says, we have pretty much almost predicted this breakout. Well, not really a breakout, but pump pretty much to the day. So I will keep you guys updated as what to my thoughts on the market, but for now, I'm expecting a short correction, maybe another pump up to somewhere in the $70,000 range, and maybe consolidation at either, probably I would estimate between $70,000 and $73,000. So 2 or 3 days down, a nice, actually I'll draw this out on the chart for you guys. So maybe a little correction, some big pump up, not quite a new all-time high, some choppiness, and once we hit the 101 days, if the market plays ball, it is off to the races. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and hope everyone has a great day, and I will see you guys again in a couple weeks' time.